something.
It's going. It's going.
It's
60%.
60%.
Meanwhile, we're already
100%.
There we go. Okay. So, we're just gonna do the opening. This basically just lets people. Well, hello everybody. I'm Jesse, here from Third Universe, and I'm here with Steven.
Hello.
And he is going to be taking me through Warhammer miniature painting because I'm a doofus and don't know that much about it, and yet I still play all the Warhammer games. So we're going to be going through that, and I'm pretty much going to let you take the reins, and I'll be asking some questions as we go along.
Okay, sounds good.
And do not forget to speak into that mic because it does need to pick you up.
Okay.
Especially because we're wearing masks because, pandemic at the moment.
Okay, so hi everybody. Today we're going to be painting Death Guard miniatures, Death Guard Plague Marines. So today we're going to start with a gray miniature, and it's going to end up looking something like this.
With all the details together.
All the details.
Yeah.
So, let's get started. We're going to start with Death Guard Green.
So have you primed this already?
Yes, this guy is already primed with gray.
Okay.
You can prime it in either probably gray, I've primed one in black, or you could just prime it in Death Guard Green if you want. So we're going to be painting the Death Guard Green. This is a Citadel paint.
Hey Groundhog, how you doing? Groundhog is one of our loyal followers here on our Twitch stream.
And this one is water washable, so you don't forget to thin it with water. Start here.
So basically, you start with your primer as that first base coat. What is the importance, would you say, of having that first base coat and then applying a green rather than priming it in your green?
Well, the primer allows the green to stick better and helps you get a better finish than just regular plastic.
Okay.
And so you'll see me constantly dip the brush in this water to keep that paint nice and thin so it flows well.
It doesn't get globby that way.
No, you don't. No, globs are bad.
Yes, globs are very bad. You do not want to be a globby monster.
No.
No.
These guys, though, kind of disgusting. They probably were not lined. But
yes,
still,
these
no
are
globs.
Chaos Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
They serve, they were once, these specifically were once Space Marines, the Pride and True, but they have fallen fallen under the lords of chaos and now seek destruction and terror.
Destruction and terror. So, always better to do 2 thin coats than 1 globby coat. If you can't get good coverage, that coverage, when I say coverage, I mean covering up the paint, that gray underneath it, so we could see the green. So,
and even though that's super thin, it does have a very sheen, because you're using acrylic paints, correct?
I'm using acrylic paints today. Different types of paints. These are acrylics. When it comes to acrylics, these are water-based acrylics. Whoops. These are water-based acrylics. Other acrylics, you have to clean with either alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol, like that, or a thinner. And advantages of acrylics are they dry quickly. And some are water washable.
What does water washable mean? I have no idea.
Water washable, so you can use water to thin it and clean your brushes rather than some different sort of thinner that might smell bad.
Okay.
Some thinners are also flammable.
So, and you don't want your miniatures to catch on fire?
No, you definitely do not want flaming miniatures.
No. And you're using a Citadel paint.
I am using Citadel right now.
Citadel is most commonly linked to Warhammer figures, and you can find them available in our store on the thirduniverse.com.
That is right. So Citadel paint. Other kinds of paints are enamels. They take longer to dry, and they smell bad. They have their own thinner, no water for enamels.
Okay. And what would be the benefit of using an enamel rather than
benefit of enamel
acrylic?
Is so enamels will stick a little bit better. Especially for airbrushing, since they take longer to dry. So if you're airbrushing with them, they won't get stuck in the airbrush as much.
Okay.
But we're not airbrushing these miniatures. We're painting them by brush.
Yeah.
So I'm using acrylic.
And are you painting the entire body this one color after you've primed it, or are you painting specific parts?
No, so we're painting these armor panels here. So, where's the camera? There it is. But rather than doing the whole thing green today, that would take a while. So I'm gonna put this guy down here, and I have one here that I already finished the green on. So
and you primed this one in black.
This one is primed in black. So next we're gonna be doing lead belcher, silver, for the metal areas. So this is another Citadel color. Again, water washable.
We went from priming was the first step, which we will show a video of in a bit. Then you go to, after you prime, you're doing your base coat of a certain color for any specific thing, whether that is the armor, or would you always do the armor before the metal bits?
I would, yeah. I'm gonna switch to this guy over here. So I just realized before we do the silver, I want to first do some areas that we're gonna do silver black. Now the reason why I do this is, so let's say we're doing this chainmail here. I already painted that chainmail black. So if you use silver after it's already black, then you can just paint very lightly over that chainmail and get the individual rings. You can still see them.
Hello, apple pie 2G. I am very, very glad to see that you are so excited to see me, but this is about Steven. We are talking with Steven today. So you paint black and then silver to give it what again?
So the reason why I did certain areas black first, such as this chainmail, is so if I brush lightly over it, you could still see some of the black underneath the rung. So chainmail has loops, and inside the loops, there's nothing. It wouldn't be silver. So
it gives it a more dynamic look, is what you're saying.
It gives it more of a texture, so you could see the chainmail texture better.
All right. I mean, I have worn chainmail. Yeah, it's super heavy. Yeah, I like to do reenactment stuff, especially when it comes to medieval. Not so much futuristic, high tech, because I don't like guns normally, except when it's in a miniature form, and that meaning Warhammer figures. But it is a thing of like chainmail is super heavy and it is super uncomfortable unless you have an underlayer. So it makes perfect sense that you would be able to see through the silver to the cloth or the armor that is underneath.
Yes. So next we're gonna start on this sword on his back here. Where's the camera? There it is. So this guy's wearing, he's not holding his sword for some reason, but he has it on his back. Maybe it takes 2 hands to fire that heavy plasma gun there.
Yeah.
So once we do that sword and the chainmail, next we're gonna move on. Let's see, what else is silver on this guy? So this guy has these little ornaments hanging from his backpack. This is gonna be silver, and those skulls on it. Can you see those? Maybe. So it's silver, and then it has these 3 skulls on it. So we're gonna paint it silver first, and then the 3 skulls peeking off of it are gonna be gold later on.
Oh, golden skulls.
Golden skulls.
So do you as a painter and creator of it's like as if you're giving this character life and giving it a backstory as you're painting it. Do you think that when you're painting it, you're thinking of what this character's place in is everything? I am speaking gibberish, but yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like clearly, this is a chaotic soldier who has seen many battles and has won over many medals. You can see he's got another skull hanging down there. He's got a little emblem on his gun. We'll do that gold also. And he's got that thing on his back. Yeah, this guy's definitely a well-achieved soldier of Nurgle.
Of Nurgle.
He's made Nurgle proud.
He fights for Nurgle! Oh, we got the alert box. Put it in there.
Oh,
let me move stuff.
Goodness.
Oh no, it went away. I have to move the alert box. I will do that now.
There's a zombie
We missed
on
the
our
alert
screen.
box, but we will get it appropriately.
Yes. So if you see this guy, you probably can't see on there, but he has some rivets all over his armor. And those rivets are going to be either silver or gold later. Oh, there you go. Now you can see them. So either silver or gold later. But we're not going to do that yet. We're going to wait till later.
That works much better. Now you can see the chat box. You can see everything.
Oh, yay. This guy's also got some little tubey things on his backpack. We're going to do those silver as well.
Very nice.
Let's see, I think...
And how long does painting one figure normally take you?
I'd say anywhere from an hour to... Some of them have, are bigger and have even more detail than this guy. And those can take as long as, 3 hours or 4 hours even. Also depends on how fast you work.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I were just to paint this guy straight, maybe an hour to an hour and a half. Probably around an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Thank you for hosting Apple Pie. Just putting that shout out there.
Okay. So, we're going to jump ahead to gold now.
Okay. So you're going, so after doing the silver,
Oh, actually, wait, I take that back.
No, we're not moving on yet.
We're not moving on yet. I realized I missed some stuff. See those spikes on his legs?
Oh, gotta get those spikes.
There we go. Metal or green spikes don't do as much damage as silver spikes. Everybody knows that.
I mean, spikes still hurt. If you step on a spike or get hit with a spike, the spike is going to hurt.
Well, if it's green, it might not be metal.
That is true. It could be a wood spike.
Yeah. Metal spikes are worse than wood spikes.
Spikes still hurt.
Might even be a rubber spike. Who knows?
A rubber spike? A Chaos Warrior with a rubber spike?
Yeah.
Clearly, I am living in a alternate universe because why would a Chaos... an orc... I can see an orc having a rubber spike and it becoming metal because he thinks it's that. But I can't ever imagine a Chaos Warrior with a rubber spike.
Hey, you never know. If you're making a crash landing, rubber one might be a little more useful.
You're not wrong. Not wrong. So you go through with the green, then you did a little bit of black before silver for some highlights. and then you're going in with gold next.
Yeah, we're going up with Balthazar Gold. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'm gonna shake it up first to get the water and the oil mixed up with the pigments. Pigments is what gives paint its color.
Pigment is, in a sense, its color.
It's like solid color.
Yes.
Then you mix it with the liquid to make paint. So on this guy, we're gonna be doing this trim on his shoulder pads and other trim on his armor gold. And as we already talked about, we're gonna do his decorative medals of honor, although he's not very honorable being a chaotic warrior.
But he
has medals anyways.
Yes. So here's a question, because his armor I can see is still that gray that you would get from the primer. Is there a reason that you would do the gold highlights before doing something else, or?
Well, some things overlap with the gold. Like you can see here, some of his spikes go on top of the gold.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could really do the gold before the silver. Up to you. I do it this way. You could do it a different way.
Yeah, I imagine, at least for me, painting with D&D, I would usually get the gold trim would be probably the last thing that I do.
Yeah, but later we're gonna do a brown wash of Agrex Earthshade. So Citadel sells shades, and we're gonna want to dirty up everything about this guy because he is filthy.
So what would be the importance of using a wash in this case? It just gives him a dirtier look overall. It's more acting as if a stain, pretty much.
That, and also it's gonna go into any cracks, like those little dents in his armor. Whoops, I'm not in the camera. And it's gonna give like provide natural shadows. I messed up there. I'll cover that up with green later.
Yes, any mistake that you make, you can cover up because it's paint.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want, and it's good that we're using very thin water acrylics, because if we weren't, it could get very globby, and then you're actually losing the detail of the miniature when you're covering it up each time.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's another reason you want to keep it thin, yeah. And if you're using a paint that's not water-based, you can always dip it in whatever thinner goes with that type of paint.
Yes.
So always make sure you have the right thinner for the paint you're using. Very important.
Always.
Always the right thinner. Or else you can't clean your brushes, and crusty, dirty brushes won't do you any good.
So what brushes are you using now?
This is a Citadel brush sold here at the store.
Yes, you can purchase it in our online store. Get it shipped to you, or you can do curbside pickup, or you could just come into the store, pick it up.
I also have some other kind of brushes here. This one's probably my smallest brush. Super tiny. That's for doing small things like eyes and other minuscule details. But let's keep going with this guy and his gold. So you can see some of these armor panels here have like a sort of trim. Just go gently over the gold. What do you think, Jesse? Do you think we should make this a golden skull or a bone skull?
Oh, if we can do one bone skull, like that's his prime. That's his greatest enemy, and he just carries that around with him.
So we're gonna leave that for now, and we'll make that bone later. Let's see, got a little golden, looks like a little spider ornament. I don't know, maybe. Congratulations, you stepped on a spider.
Haha.
Take that, servant of the Emperor.
So, is there different techniques is it like a similar technique for every miniature that comes out of Warhammer, or would you suggest a different technique or a different approach when it comes to something like a Tyrannid versus a Ultramarine versus the Astra Militarum?
Well, all of them are gonna have some similar. Well, obviously, you're not gonna go using Death Guard green on an Ultramarine, but some like Lead Belcher, everybody has some sort of weapon, like metal. This is going to be good for just about any sort of...
Pass that paint.
Oh.
So
that's Lead Belcher.
Lead Belcher. Gonna hold
Always
it up
a good
here.
color to see.
There you go. Lead Belcher. Get that good look, good take. we sell. And I see you also have. Not only do you have the paintbrush that you're using now, but over to the side you have toothpicks. What are those for?
So these toothpicks, if paint. So remember earlier I shook up that paint to get it nice and mixed up. Can't pick it up. There we go. There we go. Toothpick. Where's the camera? There it is.
Yep, got it.
So if the paint is being extra globby and not mixing well when you shake it, you can take that toothpick and swirl it around inside to give it an extra mix. We might need to use that later. Maybe not. I don't know. But always a good thing to always have around. I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller brush for some of these trims here. Like on that gauntlet there. Right there. Always have different sized brushes.
Yes, because you never know when you're going to need to get into that small crevice in the armor. It's what the Ultramarines are after, so you got to make sure that you're protected with the right paints. And I don't know if you saw this or not. How do you play that often, or are you more focused on the painting?
Well, before quarantine, yeah, I would come here every Sunday and play.
Yeah. We did. We had Warhammer Sundays where you could come meet other people who were interested in playing, learn to play with them, or just paint if you wanted to do that. And we had so before quarantine, you could always come and play. We have a bunch of demo armies in the store, or you could come pick up your own. But are you familiar with some of the rule changes that have been happening with 9th edition?
Well, I gave it a quick look over, but no, not too familiar.
So one of the things that I saw, and I don't remember if this is true, I haven't taken a full-fledged look into the new rule book, but in tournament play, there was a little thing that said that your army was going to get bonuses if they were extremely well painted versus the other army.
Oh, I sure hope so.
Yeah, you want your armies looking nice, looking clean or dirty, depending on your technique.
Yeah, well, these guys are definitely going to look very dirty when we're done.
Yes.
But if you're doing something like Ultramarines, you definitely want them looking very crisp and sharp.
Yes, definitely.
Being the finest soldiers in the Imperium. But these guys are definitely going to end up looking dirty.
Yeah, that wash is going to be coming later. It's going to make them look dirty.
Yeah, you could also see some of them have like tentacles and other mutations growing on them.
That's the chaos for you.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to grow a tentacle, then look no further than the Chaos Lords.
They grant extra filthy gifts to their followers.
Yes. So, what is your preferred army? Do you actually use Chaos most of the time?
My army is Ultramarines.
Ah.
My army's Ultramarines.
True and proud to the Emperor.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I have to say that I am partial to Necrons. That is one of the first beings in the universe, and I am very, very fond of them, and I'm very happy that Indomitable had a focus on the Ultramarines versus the Necrons.
This is true, yeah.
Yeah, some of those figures look amazing.
Yes. Now...
So,
I think our gold is just about, is done. Now, so I usually try to go starting with the color that's most prominent, which in this guy is green. That's why we did green first. And then silver and gold, there's also a lot of. I missed a gold spot. So, next we're going to do the bone and those tentacles and other mutations.
All right. Jessica is saying good job.
Jessica? Oh. That's my sister.
Okay. Well, your sister says good job. There you go. You're doing well. So while you're getting ready, finishing up that gold, we have a little video that Steven made of how to prime your minis, and we will quickly go to that, except we also have a commercial which I made that we will be showing as well. So we're going to go to the commercial. Hopefully the sound and audio plays, because I have not been here when we first uploaded it, so it might not. So hopefully it will. And then we will go to Steven's video. So here you go. sector is about to be overrun. Our scanners indicate the enemy has new units and weapons.
By the Emperor. We can't let them take over that position.
What if we...
Commander, this archive record was located nearby. That's it. That is the Manufactorum to go to. And they're still operating in this sector, even during this chaotic assault? Recall the Thunderhawks. We're going to Third Universe.
And there you go. That was a quick little interval. But yeah, so you pretty much just blasted it with spray paint.
Yeah, now don't do too much spray paint or it'll get globby and start to cover up details. Put just enough so that it covers the whole figure. Now, if you saw in the video, some of those figures were taped to it like a stick, so you can maneuver them around really easily and get all of them in one go.
Yes. So you had a cardboard setup because you didn't want to get it. Where were you?
Oh yeah, I was outside in my backyard.
Spray painting.
Yep, spray paint my backyard. Definitely do in a well-ventilated area, either like an open garage, a garage with the door open, or outside somewhere, and definitely cover up, because you don't want to spray it on something like the floor of your garage.
Yes.
So definitely put cardboard there.
Yeah, you want to make sure that all that paint stays on the figures and on the box. You don't want to get it everywhere.
Yep. So right now I'm just doing some bone on this guy.
Getting those small little details.
Yeah, like this guy has little teeth on his chest.
Mm-hmm. So someone's asking, what if you spray too much paint?
So if you spray too much paint, it'll start to like stick to the. Oh, there we go. It'll like cover up the details, and covering up the details is not good because you have less of them. You want more details.
Yeah, you want to see all the little clean things.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you, if you do spray too much, is there a way to get rid of it?
Yes. So most spray paints are enamel based. So you're gonna dip them in thinner and carefully to not bump anything off. Carefully wipe it off with like a paper towel, and do it. The sooner you do it after you spray paint it, the better.
Yeah. And this figure's now starting to get that shine, as we've seen that with these metallic paints. You're gonna get a nice glisten, a nice shine on all of the parts that you really want to emphasize, whether that be their horns that are coming out of their head, their blades, the spikes that we have said before, those rubber spikes.
Metal spikes. See, some of them have bone spikes, like this guy. He's got some bones.
Bones coming out of his head.
Yep. Now, when you do bones, you don't. Yeah, we're doing them one color for now. This is Rakarth flesh, but you can definitely do more than one color. Maybe like a darker towards the bottom, lighter towards the top, and we're gonna do that right after I finish this. We're gonna create some variation in the color of the bone.
Yes.
So it doesn't look like all one color. There we go. So I think that's. I don't know. Do you see any more bone sections?
Pass the miniature over so I can see it. You're doing a great job. It's looking incredible. And even the gray, the bone that you did here with the tentacles coming out, looks great. You got the skulls in the back. Are you doing this one bone, or are you doing this
that one
silver?
That one is gonna be that one's bone.
All right. I don't see anything missing, but
okay, good. So that means we're gonna start on the tentacles. The tentacles are probably one of the harder sections on here, because it's hard to make it look natural, like they're just growing there, not all one color. So we're gonna do like a pinkish purplish, like on this guy here. You can see on the back. You can see sort of darker towards the end and lighter towards the top. So we're gonna mix this
Snag
blue
that.
and the
Take
purple and some white to lighten it up, and we're gonna make some different.
Is this one fully finished?
That one is fully finished. Yes.
I'll hold it up here as well. It will focus. Nope, it's focusing on my face. Never mind.
Okay.
That is my apologies. But the detail that you put in, especially the craters that that are on it. How did you do the craters that are
That
here?
is that wash again.
The
We'll
brown
get
wash.
to that later. Yeah, and some of the metal areas, like the lead belcher, if you wanted to do a black wash, also that'll go a long way.
Mm-hmm. And you, what about this red rust that I'm seeing on the blade? How did you do that? Is that the wash as well, or?
That's a different technique. We'll get to that a little later. I
Sure.
think.
Sure, a little later.
A little later after the wash.
I've got so many questions.
All your questions will be answered in time.
Yes. And so this one figure took you about an hour, correct?
Somewhere around there, probably
Somewhere
a little
around there.
more. Okay, so we're gonna start mixing. Oh, you can't see. There we go. We're gonna start mixing some colors on here to make like a. I'm mixing some white, some blue, and some red to make a pinkish, purplish concoction to do on the tentacles. So we're gonna start in that little area there. Okay. So this is sort of pinkish.
Gonna make sure that you're in the camera
Oh,
so that
I'm
they
not
can
in
see.
the camera.
Yeah.
Whoops. Sorry, everybody. But now you can see. Sort of pinkish. And then we're going to change that color up a bit by mixing in some different, more blue to make it darker, more white to make it lighter.
So a little bit of blue for dark, a little bit of white for light. Just giving all those different colors to
Yeah.
create the perfect blend that we need for the tentacles that are coming out of his armor.
Yes. So this one back here, let's see. Let's do this one a little darker, more like darker purple. And then it doesn't have to be one color. So I'm just starting with one color, and then when that dries, we'll do some more.
So how many colors do you normally use for one mini?
For one mini, let's see. Well, can I move the camera a bit?
Yeah.
So you can see over here all the paints I have with me today. I've got a lot of paints here, and we're going to use just about all these. Let's move that back over here. Whoa, too far.
Here we go. It's just that. There we go.
There, okay.
Yep.
So back to this guy. We're going to put some darker purple towards the base over there. I'm going to put some water to thin that out a bit. So you could see it's darker towards like there, and then starts to get a little lighter there. We're going to enhance that effect even more now.
So this is one unit that we are painting at the moment. Different stages of the different units of the Chaos Marines. Each one part of the figures is that they will have multiple weapons on them. Some of them are holding both weapons at once. Some of them are holding only one. Some of them are holding none of them in an active position. Basically, each figure can do certain things in the game of Warhammer 40k, and each weapon that is on the figure is useful in the setting, even if they are not holding it. When you were building these, did you get a chance to actually pick which figure is doing what? Are they holding?
So this guy, for instance, where is he? This guy here has a plasma gun. Well, this guy has a bolt gun, so you can pick different weapons. Now, the plasma gun is a special weapon, so maybe only one person in a squad can have that. But everybody just about I think every plague marine can take a bolt gun.
A bolt gun
And a plague sword. Is that what it's called?
You get the plague sword and the bolt gun, and then if they have a rocket launcher or a plasma gun, plasma pistol, those are specialty weapons. Usually one unit in the one miniature in the unit has it.
Yeah, that's right. So now we're gonna take a little bit of this pale color here and mix it with a little bit of red, maybe a little bit of blue, and get it nice and light. And now we're gonna wipe some of that off. Oh, you couldn't see. Whoops. Well, it's over here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna dry brush with that. So dry brushing is when you take it and you wipe the paint off on a paper towel, and you go over to get some of those light raised details. This creates the illusion of light hitting the raised surfaces. Whoops, you couldn't see it.
So anytime you do that dry brush, you're creating the illusion of light. I know that I've painted in the past. I have painted some Harlequins in the past, and you use dry brush to really make their outfits pop, because they are usually checkered patterns, and so you have to make the checkered pattern pop with the dry brushing.
Yeah, that's definitely a good use for it. So we finished that tentacle. Let's move on. Let's see, he's got one on his coming out of his mouth there. Ew. But we're gonna start working on that one now. Let me stay in the camera.
So, and you've got mainly Citadel paints there, but you also have
Yeah,
others.
I also have some Testors paints,
Mhm.
and I think one Tamiya paint. But yep, right for these miniatures, I mostly have Citadel paints. You can get those here at the store.
Yes, you can. You can get Citadel paints. You can get the miniatures. If you're looking to start with your own army, we can provide you with paints. We can provide you with stands. That actually, some people prefer to have it mounted in their miniatures mounted in front of them, and so we have stands for it to help with painting. We have paintbrushes, the paints, all the stuff that you could possibly need to start your Warhammer army, and then crush the competition with your amazing painted minis. As well, we also have the new 9th edition rulebooks, and if you're looking for some special units, we can always put them on order for you.
Awesome. So, oh, here we go. So there's like a little piece of slime coming from his shoulder to his gun. Now that slime we're going to do a bit of a lighter color than the dark tentacles, just to create some variety. So you see, we're going to start with like a very light, and mix some pale color with some of that red and just a touch of blue, not a lot. And so that gets it nice and light for that. Create some different colored tentacles. Now
They contrast from the dark green and the darker colors that we've used for the tentacles in the past.
Yes, you see these tentacles over here are sort of dark purplish and pinkish, and that like piece of slime over there is like a lighter slime.
It's looking really good.
Thanks, Jesse. So, I think that's all the mutations and all that. So I think now we're gonna move on to those. Remember those bone sections from earlier?
Yep.
Remember? Oh, actually, I just realized I missed something.
What did you miss?
So this tube over there, it's like a fleshy tube, but it also has bits of metal that we already did on it. So we're gonna do that very similar to the tentacles.
So I'm gonna depart real quick. Steven will take full camera, and he will continue talking about the Warhammer minis. I will be right back.
Okay. So over here we have like a little tube on his side here. It's like a fleshy tube. It's gonna be very similar to those tentacles, and we're gonna do the same sort of color scheme, that palish pinkish color. And this tube has like some metal peeking out. We're gonna try to avoid that, but if you get it on it, it's fine. You could touch it up afterwards. Oh, I got it on the metal. I'll touch that up when we're done with this. Okay, so now that we've got the pink on the tube, we're gonna add a little bit of that pale light skin tone to the mixture. Can't see. There we go. A little bit of that to the mixture. And we're gonna, again, dry brush to try and get a little bit of get those raised areas a little lighter than the not raised areas. And the wash will help us with this later also. The wash will definitely help create shadows. No, the shadows are gonna go in the deeper areas, the grooves and dents. So how the wash works is it's paint thinned out a lot, so it's almost like it's like a liquid, and it'll just like seep into those light areas. So now that we finished all the tentacles and fleshy tubes and other mutation-y slimy stuff, now we're gonna cap out the paints we used, and now we're gonna start creating some color variety in the bone. So we're gonna do that by taking a darker brown. Let's take Mornfang brown and a little Mornfang brown and a little bit of Rakarth flesh. That's the color we used for the bones. We're gonna mix those over here to create a darker color. And we're gonna take that darker color we just made and we're gonna put it at the base of the bones here, closer to the So this is gonna create some color variety in the bone and make it look more real and less like a single tone. So we're doing that. This is weird. He has like a grenade on his back here, like a blight grenade. There we go. But it has a bone head on it. Super creepy. Super creepy. Okay, so now that we did that, we're gonna go a little bit darker and get some more bone sections that are closer to the base, like of the miniature here, like that. Did you see that? And try not to create like a stark contrast, like a stark line between the dark and like the middle. And now we're gonna take that same Rakarth flesh and lighten it up with a little bit of white. And now we're gonna do like the higher areas of the bone a lighter color. So we're gonna go up here on the upper areas of the bone, and we're gonna dry brush some. There we go. Okay, so we got some of the lighter areas on the bone, and some of the raised areas, and we got some of the darker spots. So you can see it's less one color, and we have more variation in the bone now. Now you can see he has some wood, like a wood piece on his gun there, and a leather strap on his ammo cartridge over there. Excuse me for a second, I need some water. Okay, so we're gonna take the Mornfang brown, and we're gonna put that on both the leather and actually no, just the leather, not the wood. Just can you see that? Nope. There you go. So we're gonna put that on the leather. Now, eventually, after we do that wash, everything's gonna have more shadows, and it'll look much better. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect right away. It'll get there. Now we're gonna take some red brown, Tamiya red brown, and we're gonna put that on the wood section. Now, eventually, this is gonna look like rotting wood, but just right now, it's gonna look like regular wood. After the wash, we'll make that wood look very Nurgle-ish. Okay. Oh man, that wasn't the camera. Darn. There we go. So now we got the wood and the leather sections. And now I think we are ready for the wash. Actually, you know what? I just realized we're going to have to touch up some of the bone. So we're going to have to do some touch-ups now. So touch-up, we messed up in some places. But that's okay, because we can go and fix it now. You can see I got some pink on the bone over there. And we're gonna go touch that up now. This guy's got some bone on his mouth that I missed. There we go. I think that's it. Okay. Now we're gonna touch up some of the lead. Touch up with some lead belcher. We messed up. I messed up an area. What did I mess up? Where'd it go? Oh yeah, I got some wood on that. And oh, we got some lead belcher on that tube there. Or sorry, we got some pink on the tube, and we're gonna fix it with some lead belcher. Right there. And there.
Oh, so he knows.
So, okay, we've got our mistakes touched up. And now I think we're ready for a wash. Clean our brush very well. See, definitely take care of your brushes so you can use them again and again. Okay, so with this done, I think we're going to do our wash now. So here at the comic books, here at Third Universe, there are shades. Okay, so we have some. So here we have shades. Citadel makes their pre-mixed washes. You can get those here, but we're gonna make our own. We're gonna take some brown. See, this is not a water-based paint, so this is a different kind of acrylic. So we're gonna have to use some alcohol. I have some this is just isopropyl alcohol. Blah, I can't talk. Isopropyl alcohol. And we're gonna take some of that and put it in here to make our wash. I can't see. Rotate. There we go. There we go. That's good. That's enough. So now we're gonna take a little bit of some brown, some dark brown, and swirl it around there. Get nice and mixed up. Let's see. Let's check the flow. Okay. You can put a little more paint. So you're gonna want it to be very liquidy, so it will flow well and go into all the cracks and crevices that we have. I'm gonna light it up a bit with a little bit of a lighter brown, not too dark. It's gonna make him look very dirty. Make Nurgle proud of his Plague Marines. Okay, ready? So we're gonna take a pretty big brush and just sort of put that everywhere. It's gonna seep into all the cracks and crevices, create shadows, and make him look dirty at the same time. Yeah, wash is a very useful tool to quickly add shadows and dirt and grime to everywhere on your miniature. Let's see. Just put plenty of that. So this is gonna go everywhere, and after this wash dries, even on the sword there, get nice dirt, hands, gauntlets. After this wash dries, we're gonna go and add some highlights to raised areas, and also we're gonna go and add some rust. These guys very dirty. They get their weapons rusty, and yeah. Okay, that should be good for the wash. Maybe a little more over there. Get the tentacles also. The golden skull. There we go. And that has to sit and dry for a little while. What should we do while it dries? Okay, so while that dries, we're gonna paint some plasma. See this guy's plasma gun? We're gonna make that nice and glossy, shiny. So we're gonna use gloss orange. If I can open it. Brian, do you have any pliers?
What kind?
Like the wide kind, like a wrench? Sorry about this. Well, I left this paint jar open. Like the, more like a wrench, like the wide kind. The kind that could grab it.
You gotta tell them about the problem with these paints.
Yeah, I know. I can't get. Oh no! I just spilled isopropyl alcohol.
All over.
Come on. Luckily, it only got on my post-it note, not our miniatures. Whew. Sorry about that. Clean this up. Always keep a paper towel on hand in case you get a spill, or or just to wipe off paint or something, or dry your brush. Before I spill this again, let's put that cap on it. Don't do what I did. Always put the jar back on whatever. Always put the cap back on what jar you're using after you're done with it. That was dumb of me. Okay, we're still waiting for this wash here to dry. Okay, looks pretty dry now, so we're gonna go and add some rust. We'll do the plasma in a minute. So, to that rust, I'm gonna shake up the jar. We got some rust color here. And now we're gonna dry brush the rust. So we're gonna take that paper towel and wipe it off. Wipe it off. There we go. And we're gonna go onto different areas like his sword. And his sword. What else is gonna be rusty? His gun. Nice and rusty. This guy's been in the weather a lot. He's getting to his armor. The metal sections there. Thanks, Brian. Thank you. Okay, so we got this paint open now. Oh, closed a little too tight.
My trades for independent stuff up here. Wonder Woman stuff and Alex Ross.
With the wrench.
Those are very good. Yeah, he's amazing.
My name's Brian. What's your name?
Same.
Nice. I or a Y?
With a Y.
I'm an I.
Okay, we got that paint open.
It's the same.
Yeah.
I got a little on me. Off. Okay, we're gonna go back to that rust now. And oh, let's see, he's got like a little metal grenade on his back. So we're dry brushing rust. You could also make a rust wash if you want. That's another good way to spread the rust.
How long you guys been here? Yeah. Oh wow. How do you know?
See, okay, so we got that grenade nice and rusty.
There you go. A lot of living done, man.
So now we got that first rust down. Now we're gonna create some lighter color rust. So we got that rust, and I have a lighter orange here. So we're gonna take that lighter orange, take some of that, and mix it with a little bit of this. Now always when mixing paints, always wipe and wash your brush before you dip it into the other jar. Very important note there. See, I washed it. So I'm gonna take a little blob of that, put it over there, in our tray.
That's so cool.
Wash the brush, get the other color, put a little out there.
It's your cat? There's multiple?
Okay, there we go. Wipe some of that off. Dry brush some of that. There we go. So now we're gonna create a different color of rust, a little lighter rust. There we go. So now we have our dark rust, our light rust, our wash, all done. We're almost done now. Let's see. We're gonna put some. Let's put some rust on the chains there. That'll be cool. Let's get him in focus. There we go. So we got some rust on the chains, some rust on the gun. We got rust on the sword. Made Nurgle proud of our rust. Oh, we missed the grenade with the lighter rust, so let's go back on there. There we go. Extra rusty. Extra rusty. There we go. So we got the rust, we got the wash. What's next? Well, we're going to put some highlights on his armor now. So we're going to take the Death Guard green from earlier, and to make it lighter, we're going to add a little bit of white. Happy little rusts. Yes, happy little rusts. We're going to take the Death Guard green from earlier. Oh no, got a little isopropyl alcohol on it. Wipe it off. There we go. We're going to take some of that. We're going to take some of our white. Have some white over here. And we're going to mix it right there. Okay, so we got a little white now. Put my finger right in the white. What am I doing?
Oh no, what you doing?
I don't know. I'm painting myself now. Okay, I'm done painting myself. We're going to go back to painting the figure.
So, we've got about a few more minutes. Just to recap, do you want to do a quick recap of everything that you've done?
Yeah, so we started with the green. Then we went on to do... What did we do next? Oh, then we did the silver, the lead belcher, and the gold. So we did all of our base colors on all of our all of the base coats and all of our main colors. The silver, the gold, the green, the tentacles, cannot forget those mutations. And what did we do? Oh, we did the gold. I said the gold already.
Yes. Gold, mutations, base colors,
oh, yeah.
Primer.
Primer, I almost forgot that was the very first thing I did.
Yep.
Then we did a wash. After we finished all of our base coats, base colors.
Got that wash going.
We got the wash flowing into all the cracks. After the wash dried, we did some dry brushing with rust. And what else did... Oh, yeah. And now we are putting some highlights on the armor with a lighter color green. If I had a little more time, I would do those little rivets there.
Well, we will...
But, oh, it's not on the camera. We would do those little rivets like you can see on this guy.
There you go.
There we go. See, this guy has some rivets done on... Oh, wrong person. Oh, well.
Well, it's okay.
Oh, he has rivets, too. They all have rivets.
They have rivets. But that's about time for us.
Okay.
So you can finish that off stream, and we will take a photo of it and put it on our Facebook for you guys to see later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jesse. This is Steven.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Once again, Citadel paints, brushes, miniatures, Warhammer miniatures, rules, and other things are all available on our store, thirduniverse.com. And please tune in for more Warhammer stuff on Sunday next week, as well as all of our really cool content, whether that be Pokemon, Magic, League of Legends, bunch of stuff. So thank you for tuning in, and we're going to play a small commercial before we head out. Thank you guys for watching.
Commander, the northeast sector is about to be overrun. Our scanners indicate the enemy has new units and weapons.
By the Emperor. We can't let them take over that position.
What if we...
Commander, this archive record was located nearby. That's it. That is the manufactorum to go to. And they're still operating in this sector, even during this chaotic assault? We call the Thunderhawks. We're going to Third Universe.